Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the podcast, episode 3.
Level up, people. Level up.
We missed a week. There was some,
It was laziness. Who are we kidding?
there was some other stuff going on, but still, we missed a week.
And it was also midterms, guys. College. Gotta love it.
Yeah, books and reading and stuff. But yeah, we'll after this, we will pick it back up. You know, we'll be back on the daily schedule.
Back on the full. How do kids say it these days? Full enchilada of the of the podcast schedule right now, guys. I don't know what I'm talking about.
All right. To break down some news, I guess. I guess it's news in our world, not in everybody's world.
I'm excited.
Matt's going to get Evil Within tomorrow.
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic. This is the first game I've bought in like
Over a year.
over a year. Josh calculated it.
Yeah, he's excited. I'll watch him play it personally. I am highly skeptical about it, but that's me going with my own biases.
Okay, we'll talk about this later. Not to get off track. We gotta discuss other stuff.
But yeah, if we want to look at news in general, it's been a slow going for the past 2 weeks. Not a whole lot's been said. Not a whole lot's been done.
Pretty dry.
Since our last podcast. So I guess we'll just skim over that one today. The reviews that I've been playing Shadow of Mordor recently.
A lot.
I've sunk about 20 hours into that game now.
Yes, I've seen Josh play it. It's an amazing game.
Love it.
Except Josh gets a little frustrated at times when, especially towards the enemies with crossbows or bows in general.
That's I wouldn't say that's a problem with the game, but that game does it well to where I'll die and I'll be like, all right, whatever, forget it. Let's just go back and kill this guy. Saying as it's like a persistent thing going on with the Nemesis system. That even though I die, I don't get discouraged. I just go back into it and just start fighting and killing more orcs. Yeah, it's a good game. I recommend people trying it. If you like the Batman games, the Arkham games, there'd be Asylum, City, and Origins. Then you're gonna love it. It's the same fighting style where you jump all over the place, but now you're decapitating orcs.
A lot of decapitation in,
all over the place.
that game. There's a lot of head rolling.
Yeah, there's a lot of heads rolling down.
And a lot of like life siphoning too.
Yeah, there's to keep this brief, you can see reviews all over the place, but to keep this review brief, very good game. Combat system is very solid. It's got a nice platformer, so to speak, aspect to it, where it's like Assassin's Creed. It's been called Arkham's Creed by a bunch of people, which is very accurate description. My problems with it, I have a few. It is a third-person game, so in some circumstances, the camera is going to suck.
I was about to say. I thought. Yeah, sometimes you had a little trouble with the camera.
The camera will clip through things. It'll clip through a wall every now and again whenever you're fighting in an enclosed area, and you won't be able to see what you're doing. And I've been killed like that 2 or 3 times. Also, there's indicators that are supposed to show up on your screen whenever a hunter, which is a dude who throws spears, or a archer, through the crossbow, is shooting at you or throwing spears at you. I'm not sure if it just gets lost in like all the translation of all the stuff that's going on the screen, or it just doesn't show up sometimes. But I'll be picked off. I'll be fighting a bunch of orcs and won't get hit, and I'll just go down. And it'll be from a dude throwing spears at me from like 20 yards away, and I won't have seen the indicator, so I can't dodge it. I've developed a system to get around that though, to where I just take out the hunters first. So I've adapted to it. I'm not saying that's okay. I'm just saying that's a thing that they might want to patch.
Gotcha. Any other things that you had trouble with?
Well, to begin the game, no spoilers or anything, but to begin the game, there's a sequence to where you have to kill war chiefs. There's 4 of them, to where that's the war chiefs at the top level of the orc army that you're going to end up fighting. It's hard as shit. You'll be
Because I mean, I haven't played it, but I've seen Josh. Like, because for a lot of them, well, actually, scratch that. It's for all the enemies, really, the top ones. They have weaknesses, but they also have immunes. And some of them are in certain locations to where if they're immune to a certain thing, that's like your only option to really hurt them.
Yeah, for instance, I was going against a shield guy, dude with shield, nothing special. But he was a captain, so one of his invulnerabilities was that you couldn't dodge over him. That's how you're supposed to beat shield guys in that game. Because you can't stun them. Just like normal cape stun in Arkham, you can't stun them. It's called Wraith Stun there. You can't stun because they'll just block it. And then he was also invulnerable to range, so I couldn't shoot him in the foot and pin him where he was and like stun him. I don't remember how I killed him, but I definitely killed him. Yeah, little things like that make the game very, very difficult, and then that's when the game starts to get more frustrating than fun.
So what would you rate it out of 10, Josh?
Out of 10, I wrote a blog. I wrote a review on GameInformer.com. It's I gave it an 8.
So 8 orc heads out of 10.
Yeah. It's a solid 8. There's a few things that can be fixed, which is the camera and then the little icon things there. The inherent difficulty, that's just going to happen with the randomized system. I don't have a problem with that. It gets frustrating, but I don't have a real problem with it.
Yeah.
But good game. Recommend picking it up for $60 or your regional equivalent. So I guess we can kind of move on over to what we've been playing the past 2 weeks, I guess. Like I said, been playing a lot of Shadow of Mordor. About an hour ago, just got done playing some Battlefield. Still hitting that hard post-patch. Everything's going smoothly. It's great. Everything's working the way it should be. Everything's fixed. It's like a brand new game, Battlefield 2.0. Played Destiny a little bit. That's kind of taking a back burner. I've gotten to the point where I've played over 75 hours.
Shit ton. If I had a shit ton, they'll be ringing right now.
I've played over 75 hours. There's literally only one thing I haven't done in the game, and that's the raid. And that's just because with me and the guy I play with, it's not enough people. You physically cannot do it with just 2 people.
No.
So that's going to be something that I'm going to have to tackle sometime in the near future. But I need more people for that. But
audience.
I played Hearthstone. I played more Hearthstone. That's always a nice slow paced game to play. You sit down, come back from class, take your laptop over the couch, and just sit there and play some Hearthstone. Have a good time. That game gets frustrating, but that's just because you're getting beat by other people. That's just how life goes. Matt's gonna be starting a new playthrough tomorrow, I assume, of Evil Within.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try diving in. I'm also gonna dive back into one of my old favorites, a game I shouldn't have gotten rid of, but I did, and I regret it. And I'm gonna probably get back into Borderlands because I love that game. I don't know why I gave it up.
That's Borderlands 2, right?
Yeah, Borderlands. And if they have one of those things where you can get both of them,
yeah,
that'd be even better. But I'm gonna start. Actually, right out of this podcast, I'm gonna start diving back into a little bit of Fallout 3 and getting back into that game because that's another one of my faves. And I got the Game of the Year edition. I said gear. Game of the Year edition, and personally that's one of my favorites, and I love it. And because it's a time killer. It's like Skyrim, killer of time.
Yeah. If you have an hour, don't play Fallout because nothing will get done.
1 hour will turn to 2 hours, and then 3 hours, and then dinner time will come, and then after dinner time, then that's like 4 more hours, and then wee hours of the night. You either play more until the sun comes up, or you go to bed.
So I remember last year I had about an hour in between class, so I came back. I was like, all right, I'm gonna play some Fallout. Literally got nothing done.
Well, no, there's too much stuff going on.
Yeah, I was moving between Nipton, right?
Yeah. No, you had New Vegas, dude.
New Vegas.
Yeah.
New Vegas, not New Vegas.
No Vegas.
In New Vegas, no, it was from Good Springs to Novak.
There you go. Long journey.
Didn't even make it there. Pretty sure I didn't even get halfway.
The thing what I do in 3 is because I have the Anchorage DLC.
Ah, yes.
And as soon as I'm out of the freaking vault, I go there.
That's the best armor in the game, isn't it? From there.
Yeah, it is. It's power armor that never wears down.
Oh wow, that sounds.
It's winterized. It's really cool. I like it. I dig it. I think because it's the T5 armor, and I think the other T armor, the one on the cover, looks a lot cooler, but
it degrades.
It degrades. So it's kind of like I gotta choose between looking good
and feeling good.
good. But yeah, that's another thing.
You gonna do the Dead Space thing that you said you were gonna do a while back?
What, 2?
I'm not sure I don't remember if you said 1 or 2. I just remember you said you were gonna play Dead Space again.
That was 2. Yeah. I mean, Josh, you saw me today. I was staring into my games with such a blank face for like 5 minutes.
Like, it's kind of like you looking into a fridge looking for something to eat when you know you don't have any.
Because it was like that with video games. I didn't know. I didn't know what to eat, but then this coincidence, I didn't know what to freaking play. I mean, I have all the Assassin's Creeds, all the Halos, all the Dark Souls, and Deadpool's in there, and I love that game to death. Death. But then all the Crysises and Crises. Audience, how you plural that? And I have all these games, and I haven't did anything with them because they're my favorites. I haven't touched them because they're my favorites. I'm trying to figure out which one to play. It's hard. It's like literally. It's like.
Do you still have Alan Wake?
Yeah. I haven't dug into that game in a while, and that's that game. It got completely, I would say, thrown over because of Red Dead Redemption. Came out the same day it did, and of course Rockstar, Red Dead Redemption, GTA Cowboys, and Red Dead's an amazing game. I love it, but Alan Wake is an amazing game, and I just kind of feel like it kind of got I want to say appreciated because of the fact it came out the same day as a major game like that did. It kind of got overlooked. But I got it, and I played the poop out of it. I love it. It has the most amazing atmosphere. The story blew my mind. It blew my mind so much. The gunplay's amazing. The whole flashlight and the enemies are darkness. Plus the music. The music alone sets the tone for it. Old Gods of Asgard or Poets of the Fall. It's amazing. They're the same person in the game. Poets of the Fall are the guys who made music, in which they are a band, but in the game they're called Old Gods of Asgard, and I love it. But I should really dive back into that because I don't really count American Nightmare as a freaking sequel to that game at all.
It was like a TV show, like in the game or something like that.
I don't know. It just.
What was that TV show called?
I liked. Well, the ending of Alan Wake made me
pissed me square off.
Well, I had the DLC. I had both DLCs. I have both DLCs. Who am I kidding? And it kind of gave it a little more because Alan's trapped in the darkness, and he has like an evil body double. His name's Mr. Scratch, and you have to like defeat him. and because it's all Alan's like doubt, all of his negative emotions, and then him, and then yeah, basically he's the one with the darkness, and you're just trying to escape and get out. Your girlfriend's safe because you sacrificed yourself to get her out, which is an amazing thing. I just loved how like everything just transpired in that game. That's one of my top 10 games ever. But
Then there's a game that came out recently called it's I would say it's I was listening to a podcast today, a Game Forum podcast. They were talking about how this game is. It's called The Disappearance of Ethan Carter.
I have not heard about that.
There's no gunplay. It's 100% an adventure game. But there's this kid who's disappeared, like just off the face of the earth. And your job as
like an investigator, finder dude.
You're a supernatural investigator. You're like psychic.
Like Sam and Dean.
You're like a psychic investigator who's investigating the disappearance of this kid who was also a psychic.
Yeah.
And so it's really like, you ever play LA Noire?
Yeah.
It's got like the detective stuff like that.
Like you're interrogating people and you gotta kind of like tell who's lying.
Well, it's more like you're finding clues and you're trying to discover what's going on. So it's an interesting. I watched Jack Fraggs play a little bit of it. Not something I would enjoy, but if you liked Alan Wake, I think you'd like this.
Well, the thing about Alan Wake is that without light, the enemies are invincible. Nothing can kill them. Without light, you is dead meat. Like, and there's been instances, because you always have a handy-dandy flashlight with you, which helps bring their shadow shields, as I call them, but they're the shadows within them. But, I mean, if you just stand there and just start shooting at them, they'll eat bullets until the sun comes up. And
literally.
and there's instances where the game will not give you a flashlight. Something will happen to Alan to where he doesn't have a freaking flashlight anymore, and there's enemies. And I was stuck with a few flashbang grenades against mobs and mobs of enemies. Love the flashbang grenades. I would run and just like toss one behind me and just and like all the bodies would disintegrate. So appealing. But okay, enough about Alan Wake because I will talk about that till this podcast is done.
Like he said, he's gonna get Evil Within. Probably start playing that, if not tomorrow, Wednesday.
Sometime within this week, I'm gonna go get it.
I'm just gonna keep on keeping on with Shadow of Mordor and Battlefield and stuff like that.
Have you beat Shadows of Mordor yet?
No. I'm pacing myself.
Okay.
Because, well, I've gotten stuck into like the open world syndrome to where you just do everything but the story missions.
Yeah, that's
like,
what it's like all the side quests. That's what I did in what was it? Saints Row 4, that's what it was. I did every freaking side quest. Every one of them. It just made the game twice as long.
I mean, but I'm not even doing side missions. I'm just going around murdering Captain Orcs.
Well, I mean, I did I would say I kind of did the same thing involving like just murdering people with my flying UFOs or cars or curb stomping them from 20 stories up or dubstepping them to death. Either way. Or to get the Violator and just violate their jimmies.
So another game that came out the 7th, I believe it was, Alien Isolation. What are your thoughts?
I think definitely better than
Colonial
Marines, but like we said in like the last two podcasts discussing that thing, Aliens Colonial Marines was, in a sense,
garbage.
Just pure shit. Like, you opened up a case and there'd be nothing there.
That'd be a better experience than Colonial Marines.
Bingo. Because one thing, it was too short. The mechanics sucked. The story, the ending pissed me off how short it was. And I was like, are you kidding? This is how it's gonna end? Well, that's just fan-fucking-tastic, guys.
The multiplayer was so one-sided, it was dumb.
Then, but this one, I've watched a few things about it, and I've been watching a few YouTubers play it. I don't plan on getting it, I mean, I might, depending on how I feel about it a little later on. But I mean, I think it does I think it gets its point across. I think that it's definitely more terrifying than I've seen people scream from it, and I know it's scary. I know how tense
I've been
it
watching
is.
somebody on YouTube play it, and I've screamed from it.
Yeah.
But,
And
yeah, it's good.
I mean, people are giving it modest reviews. I mean, they're saying it's not good, it's not super amazing, but then it's not terrible either. It has its ups and downs. Like I
I'd
think,
say,
but I mean, what game doesn't have ups and downs? That no one has made the perfect game yet. I don't think they ever will.
GTA 5 is pretty good though.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely gonna get Alien Isolation. Probably not for a while. I've watched about 2 hours of the campaign. Watched Jack Frag play it. I was like, all right, I've made my decision. This game looks amazing. I'm done. I am not watching any more about it.
I, however, have been watching a lot of it just from my YouTube because they put up like 2 videos a day of them playing it, and I just like watching them squeal.
Yeah, I have full intention of getting that game. Whether if I don't get it for Christmas, I'm gonna get it with Christmas money. I will own that game before the end of the year. Also,
Let me just quote that real quick. I'm gonna write this down from Josh, and I quote Josh.
I will have Alien Isolation by the end of the year.
Yes, he will.
Speaking, you were saying something about Borderlands earlier. The pre-sequel comes out tomorrow.
Yes.
I don't know a damn thing about it. I know it's a Borderlands game.
Honestly, I know it's kind of hard to explain because I haven't watched too much of it either, even though I'm a pretty big Borderlands fan. All hail the mighty Claptrap. But I know it takes place. And does it come out for 360 and shit too?
It only is coming out for 360 and shit too.
It's only doing that? Okay.
It's not next gen.
Okay. Is it a full game or is it DLC?
Full game.
Full game? Huh. I know that it's that one of the you're playing as, and it's a pre-sequel, and I know that you're working with Handsome Jack, which is the bad guy in 2, but in this one he's the good guy apparently, which is weird.
I think it takes place in between 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's because it's the pre-sequel, and I think I know what it's gonna, cause it's gonna be Claptrap, and I think something's gonna happen to where the ending's gonna probably be when Jack decides to kill his product line, or something. Because I know in 2, Claptrap was so pissed at freaking Handsome Jack because he killed his product line, and I think something's gonna happen in the pre-sequel that has to deal with that of some sorts. It just seems right.
I know that you can play as, instead of like in traditional Borderlands fashion to where you can create your own character, you can play as iconic characters.
Well, I mean, you don't. I mean, it's all this. There. I mean, they're the same characters no matter what you do, but in a sense, yeah, you can customize. You can give them different hair, kind of change their looks a little bit. But it comes down to it. I mean, they're still. I mean, if you play as like Roland or anyone like that, they're gonna be Roland. But I mean, you can change how they look, but they're still them.
But I'm saying, like 1 and 2, you created your own character. Like there was the 4 classes, each different in their own right.
Yeah.
Then you create a character based on that template. But in the pre-sequel, you just choose a character and you're good to go. That's my assumption anyway. I haven't seen anything on that. Don't quote me. So yeah, that'll be something to keep an eye on, I guess. I was never a massive Borderlands fan. Borderlands 2 was fun while it lasted.
I honestly enjoyed it. I liked the guns. The amount of guns and the amount of laughs I got from that game just made it was like me playing Deadpool. It just made me laugh, and it was fantastic. I loved it, and I don't know why the frick I got rid of it. I'm regretting it now. If I had a time machine, I'll tell myself, hey, 2 years from now you're gonna want to play this again. What can you do?
I guess go buy it again.
I mean, I'm not getting a pre-sequel. That's another.
But 2.
But 2, I'm gonna probably get 2.
Now you played the first one, correct?
Yes, and I hated it until
Borderlands 2.
Until I kind of got the feel of what the game was. Because I really wanted, what was it? My mom got me Borderlands instead of a game I really, 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 really wanted. I think it was Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah, I believe it was Assassin's Creed.
And I was, Christmas morning, I was all excited. There was one video game shaped present left, and on my list it said Assassin's Creed 2, big bold letters, exclamation points. I put everything. I hinted at my mom so long about it, and I mean my mom doesn't do Christmas lists anymore, and she stopped, and she kind of gets us what she feels, what we would like, and sometimes sometimes it just completely backfires horribly, but I'm so grateful for everything. But like, I got the present, I opened it up, and it's Borderlands, and then instead of Assassin's Creed 2 like I wanted, and I just kind of looked at it, and my mom asked, Do you like it? I kind of gave her the yeah face, and it sat on my shelf forever until like I finally went, okay, let's play it. Because I watched my friend Adrian play it on PC, and he said it was the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Well, that's Adrian for you. He plays a lot of weird games like Team Fortress 2 and stuff like that, so you gotta take his opinion with a grain of rice.
And I mean, there ain't no rest for the wicked, man. And I fell in love with it. I mean, the first one was, it was okay. I liked it. It wasn't my favorite. Then 2 just, it 2 broke me as a Borderlands fan. It just made me love it even more.
2 came out of nowhere almost.
I played the poop out of 2. I loved it. It was fantastic. I think I was the assassin.
Everybody was the assassin.
But the thing was, I don't know. I was either going to be the commando or the assassin. I think I played both of them. But I mean, the people I wasn't the siren forever. I'd never been the siren or the gunzerker.
Then they released more classes in like traditional DLC fashion. They had the Necromancer.
Yeah. I mean, them with Borderlands, they come with a lot of freaking DLC. They come out with a lot of DLC and a lot of guns. Like, I'm pretty sure that 90% of the game development is ideas for guns.
Yep.
But
so we'll be next week. We'll definitely be reviewing Evil Within. If you put enough time in to actually review it, that is.
If it doesn't scar me, if it doesn't scar me for life, and I have to go into mental treatment, you'll probably see that. And if not next week, then in the week episode 5 it would be then. But I'm gonna read off some of the new releases that are coming out.
There's a game on there that's interesting that we have to talk about.
I know. Okay. Okay. But like I said, we got Borderlands, The Evil Within, the Minecraft for Vita, the PS TV comes out.
Yes,
too?
PlayStation TV.
Is that with Sleeping Dogs too?
Sleeping Dogs. It's like the Game of the Year edition kind of deal.
Okay. And The Walking Dead Season 1 for PS4 is coming out. Now, the last game, I saved this for last. And Josh wrote this down as like the second thing on the list, but I just kind of skipped over because I know we're going to have to talk about it. Is Duck Dynasty the game, people? Duck Dynasty the game, hands down, probably going to be my top 5 games of the year right now.
Game of the century.
It's going to be so good. I'm not even going to lie. I'm tempted to get it. I'm tempted to get it. I ain't lying. I'm tempted. Really am tempted.
There's nothing about Duck Dynasty that sits well with me.
Man, you're either a Duck Dynasty fan. Honestly, me and my family watched the crap out of the show. Me and my old roommate used to watch the crap out of it. That's all we watched. And I didn't understand it at first, and then I was like, ha, this is funny. And then that's when it like grabs you and rustles you down and names you its bitch.
Yeah, I will never, like, I can't.
I mean, we just watched the trailer for it.
Yes.
And it's...
Go watch the trailer for the Duck Dynasty game, and you will be like,
I'm just tempted.
Who thought this was a good idea?
I'm tempted to go get it. I'm tempted. I just want to try it. It's gonna be so good. It's like shitting a brick of gold.
Yeah, it'll be something, all right.
But I guess we'll wait, and we'll probably talk about that on episode 4. But on that note, people, I think
we'll wrap it up for this week's episode of the Level Up podcast.
Josh is extremely tired. He's been I don't know. He just, I mean, we're getting ready to freaking record this thing, and he looks at me and goes, dude, I'm about to take a nap.
At 7:30 at
And
night.
which is a really bad idea for you to freaking just make coffee, dude. You're drinking it. You're drinking coffee when you're like, I'm really tired.
Nope, man. I gotta edit this. I gotta get this all good to go by tomorrow. So, to a late night with coffee, I guess.
Let's face it. I'll freaking find you and your computer will be up, and you will be passed the frick
There's
out.
gonna be drool all over my middle line of keys. But yeah, well, thanks for joining us for this week. We'll be back next week.
As always.
Grab that XP and level up.
You can't do that. It's my outro.
All right,
That's
man.
my outro. I thought of that.
Say it all you want, man.
All right, guys. This is the Level Up Podcast. Catch you next week. Don't forget, now gain that XP and rank up. As Josh said, level up.